Contactor. What is it and what does it do? Contactor. C-O-N-T-A-C-T-O-R. Boom. Right there. So, what is a contactor? Do you guys know what this is? This is the symbol, diagram symbol for a switch, particularly an open circuit switch. This is a closed switch. So, what is a contactor? Contactor is essentially a switch, but it's controlled with electromagnetism. So you have line 1, line 2, boom, L1, L2. Then you have your switches here. These are open switches. Now the addition for a contactor is you have a electrical coil behind it that runs out to A1 and A2, and when it has different voltages, this could be magnetized at. It could be magnetized with DC, 24 volt DC, 120 AC, etc., etc. But for the purposes of an HVAC condenser contactor, we usually have, not usually, always have a 24 volt coil right there. So when you get 24 volts on this side and this side, complete a circuit that magnetizes this coil. It sucks these contacts in, so essentially it closes the circuit, sends the power up to the fan motor and the actual compressor. So essentially, to see if you have a bad contactor, what you would have to do is to do a voltage check across these two terminals, A1 and A2. If it's a bad contactor, you'll get 24 volts across it, but you won't get you will see a difference between this point and this point, essentially. So if you have, let's say, 120 volts here and you have 120 volts here, your multimeter measuring across these points will get 0 volts because they are the same. When it's comparing these 2 points, there's no difference, so you'll get 0 volts. But if you're getting 24 volts across this point and you don't get 0 here, you get 120, that means your contactor is bad. So, contactor, electromagnetic switch, it gets electricity to the coil sucks these contacts in, and then it allows the circuit to close, which sends power over there. So, for example, if you have 120 here, you have 0 here, you'll get 120 on your multimeter. That means contactor is bad. If you're getting 24 volts across it, if you're not getting 24 volts across it, that means it has a different issue, perhaps a bad control board, perhaps your high pressure and low pressure switches are triggered, something like that. So for the purposes of this video, good contactor means 24 volts here, 0 volts across these 2 points. Bad contactor means 24 volts here, you get 120 volt reading between these 2 points on the multimeter there. So there you guys go.